one for consistency. Okay. And this is the highlighter. It looks a little bit yellow because over time you'll see the brush head gets a little bit tinted from your foundation. You can put it under your foundation, but I personally don't prefer that. So without further ado, let's put it on my face in the demo. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate the highlighter first. So let's demonstrate the Aritaum highlighter. This is it again. I'm going to click out 3 times. To be honest, I'll let you know already, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I feel like it doesn't really do much, to be honest. And at least it doesn't take away my foundation. So I'll put it on one side first for you to see the difference. But if you powder, it kind of just disappears. So this is my side where I just have the regular makeup face cushion, no powder. This is the normal shine, okay? And this is with the highlighter. Trying to move my face so you can see. This is the highlighted side. Not highlighted side. I don't see a difference. So is it worth it? Not really. So I don't think you really need the highlighter. For me, if it was sort of like packaged like the strobe cream where you could put it all over your face for that shine all over, that's great. But I intentionally wanted it to highlight, you know, the highlighted points of my face, but it really doesn't do much. So let's get into the peach corrector. I'm going to do the Aritaum on this side. Again, this is in peach beige. I'm going to do 1 click because there was still some remaining from the last time. So you can see right now I don't have anything, but I have my cushion foundation from earlier, and I'm just going to apply it a little bit more liberally so you could see the shade differences compared to the Bobbi Brown in a second. So normally I wouldn't do this. Normally I would just put it in the sort of this section in the purple area, but I want you to see the shade difference a little bit more. I'll blend it upwards. So that is the Aritaum one. And now let's get into the Bobbi Brown one, which is infinitely more expensive, but does it work better? So again, I'm going to apply this more than I would normally, so you could see the shade differences. And you can see I have some redness and purpliness right there. So let me get up closer so you can see the shade differences. Aritaum and Bobbi Brown. So you can see already this one is much more pinky compared to the light peach. And again, I have extreme allergies and purpleness around my eyes, so I'm trying to cancel that. Generally orange will work better, but this one is also called the peach corrector, but it's much more pink compared to the Bobbi Brown. So let's see how they work. So I'm going to blend it out just with my normal sponge, and normally I wouldn't let it sit that long, but they both blend out pretty well, which you will see in a second. Whereas I'm doing it now, I applied more than I would normally, but you kind of see it blends to nothing. But let's do the peach side using the other side. So just blending as much as possible. Alright, so you let me know which one you think is better. Of course, I haven't used my concealer yet, but you tell me which one looks a little bit less purpley. So of course I haven't put concealer on yet, but this is again Bobbi Brown Aritaum, and honestly off the bat this one cancels a little bit more of the purpliness compared to this one. This one is a little bit too pink in my opinion for my skin tone. So I'm going to put on some concealer as I would normally. I'm just using the Maybelline, most of it has kind of, I think it's the Luminex, the Maybelline Luminex highlighter. I think it was a highlighter or something like, or brightening highlighter, highlighting concealer. I think it only has 1 shade, I can't remember, but either way, many people have seen this before. and I'm running out already, but I'm going to try to apply the same amount on both sides to blend out and try not to smear away the concealer on the bottom. So you can let me know which one you think is better. So this is what I would normally do. I don't use correctors that much, to be honest now. I just feel like no matter what I do, I will always have purpliness, but it can help in the slightest bit, I suppose. So I'm just blending out this one, the Aritaum side, and I did pack on the concealer quite heavily. I just squeezed out way too much, but in the mirror I could kind of see that the hollowness of my under eye circle is a little bit apparent on the Aritaum side. And let me try with the Bobbi Brown side. Just patting with a wet sponge. I find that a wet sponge just helps blend so well. Like this. Alright, so that's as blended as I can get it. I have some very fine lines under my eyes, which is sometimes a little bit hard. So I'm going to get a little bit closer. Let me dim my lighting. So I'm getting a little bit closer. Hopefully the lighting's okay. But this is the Aritaum side and Bobbi Brown side. Now, to be honest, even on camera, it doesn't look that different, to be honest. In person, I feel like the Bobbi Brown is a little bit more neutralized, the slightest bit, but the difference is so minimal. I feel like for the Aritaum one is much better. It's only $6 or so. Let me turn on my lighting. Alright, so here's the final verdict from after this demo, is that the difference is so minimal that honestly, I feel like you could just get away with the Aritaum one if you really wanted a color corrector. But to be honest, as I'm blending, I feel like with just a regular concealer, perhaps a little thicker, could neutralize better. So overall, actually, I don't think it's a massive difference to use color correctors. They do help slightly when it's very severe, but it's such a minor difference for a person like me who has very severe purpleness under my eyes and also some slight hollowness right here. You could actually skip the color corrector itself. Alright, so I hope you found that helpful. If you have any further questions, please leave them down below, and I'll see you later. Bye!